It's a rainy day outside, so what better than to record this review of the Cuei Griptape. Cuei sent me this Griptape for free, so just understand that, in a sense, you're consuming biased information right now. Of course, I want to be as unbiased and as fair to you as possible, as I've gained a reputation of doing, but it's, very, very possible that their donation to the channel is subconsciously influencing me to say better things than I otherwise would say about them. So it's just important for you to know as a consumer. The Cuei Griptape is really nice. I really like it, and it's doing things for me that it's just like outperforming any other grip that I've tried in some specific ways. Not in every single way, but just in enough ways and applications that I find myself using it on basically every board I ride nowadays. So, got it here on my custom Zenit downhill board. And what you'll notice is I've got a little bit of a circle cut out in the back. That's because this board has been the platform for a crazy array of concave implants over the last several months. I have spent so long trying to perfect the type of concave implant that I like to have under my back foot, under the ball of my foot, whether that's a W concave or something like a torque block or some sort of crescent shape, which is finally what I have landed on. That's been a really fun journey, and I'm really stoked with what I've come up with and the solution I've been using. And the really nice thing about the Cuei Griptape that I've noticed, and I've not been able to do with any other Griptape brand, is I can heat it up with a hairdryer, sometimes even just a lighter, peel it all the way off, remove my concave implant, put in a different one that I want to prototype, and then with a little bit of heat, just put the Griptape back down on my board, and it stays. And not only have I done this one time, I've done this maybe 3 times, and for this video I'm about to do it again. I have another little concave implant I'm going to use here. This one helped designed by John LaPlante. You can see his initials on the back there. This was one of the Patreon designs. If you support me on Patreon, then there is a little option where I'll help you design something like a foot stop, or in this case a concave implant. And his design was so good that I decided to just use it myself. And so I've got the version 1 of this design, but I want to put this version 3 in there. Similar shape, it's just got more options. The slots are bigger and more clearance in the back. So I think we're going to do that. What you'll notice is that I'm only using this on my back foot on this race setup. This is the Harry Clark Pro Model race board. And it's, once again, because I'm using a complex concave implant in the back. Just like kind of putting a sticker onto a helmet. A flat, planar material like a piece of paper or a sheet of grip tape does not want to bend in more than one axis. The helmet being a convex surface has 2 ways in which it has curvature, and the flat plane of the sticker does not want to bend like that. And so in order to fit complex concaves, whether you're doing implants or your board just has like a big drop in it and W combo, kind of like the Chase Hiller Pro model, you're gonna need your grip tape to be able to deform. And there's no better way to do that than with a bit of heat. If you have a heat gun, that's ideal. I also use a hairdryer in the past. If I need contour in a specific area, I'll just take a lighter and just heat that one little section and then press it in. And locked-on grip tape is awful at that. I use locked-on grip tape on the front of this board because this board has almost no concave. It's extremely flat, it's extremely simple, it has just a subtle rocker throughout it and a really minimalist, just elliptical concave shape. And locked-on sticks to that great. Locked-on does not stick to more complex concaves. My Zenit, for example, has really pronounced wheel flares that the locked-on absolutely does not want to stick to, even when I'm extremely careful about like surface prep and, applying heat and working quickly and applying pressure smoothly, making sure I'm not leaving any bubbles in the grip tape. I just can't get locked on to work in those situations. And so once again, you'll see I've got Cuei grip on this Max Caps prototype downhill concave implant. This thing is made out of urethane, and I went over to his place and picked up a bunch of wheels from him. He threw a couple of these in there for me. This is one that I just cut in half and modified because it was too big to use on its own. And it's a little excessive. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this kind of implant for a long time. But you can see that the Cuei grip just sticks so well to it. Once again, with some heat, you can really get this stuff to go around some curves. And Locked On could never. What I used to use for this application beforehand was Gangster Grip. The Gangster Grip is I think a Venom product, and that has really similar properties. It's plastic backed. It does a pretty good job of conforming to different concaves when you have heat. But I noticed that the Gangster Grip is really prone to chipping, especially if you like flip your board over on a high side or something like that. You'll get flakes of the Gangster Grip chipping off in patches, and it's just not as sharp or grippy as the Cuei grip. Now, Gangster Grip is about as far from Cuei grip in grippiness as Cuei is as far from Locked On, if that kind of gives you a good scale. I feel like a lot of people have tried Gangster, a lot of people have tried Locked On, few people have tried Cuei. So if you're thinking about it that way, it's a good middle ground. It's extremely effective for almost all types of skating. Especially with brake soles, you should be extremely fine skating any sort of like big downhill race wheel with this type of grip. I use a number of concave implants because, that's just kind of what I've come to enjoy and depend on in my style of skating. And they just kind of enhance on top of what the grip tape already offers, that feeling of traction and connectedness to the board. So I'm a really big fan of Cuei grip, but here's my gripe with it, is that here in the United States, if you're trying to buy it, it's $40 for a roll. That breaks down to $12 per foot. And that's really expensive, especially when you can go and buy, Locked On for like $7 or $8 a foot. And you can customize the amount that you get because it comes in a big roll, and all it takes is a skate shop is to just cut that for you. So the Locked On is a bummer in that regard. And had I done the same thing with Locked On, where I tried to, pick the grip up, replace the concave implant, set the grip back down, I would have had to just throw away a whole lot of Locked On. When you peel Locked On back off, it fully rips off. I think that had I bought this Cuei grip myself, it would have actually been similar cost to using Locked On, because I've been able to just lift up the same sheet of grip and place it down and have absolutely no issues this entire time. I've been able to literally reuse grip tape, which, I don't know, I haven't seen that with another brand. I haven't tried it with too many other brands, but again, Gangster Grip chips off, especially if you try to peel it with almost no heat. Cuei grip you can peel off with no heat. That's flexible and strong enough to do that. Locked On totally tears. It's backed with paper. I have not tried the Dark Matter grip, that like reddish grip tape. That is cloth backed, which I presume has a little bit more flexibility and durability than paper backed, but it still doesn't give you the flexibility with heat that a nice plastic backed grip tape does. So here's my conclusion, is if you're trying to mess around with concave implants, if you are not a fan of blue grip tape, right? A lot of people don't like the aesthetic of Locked On. Then you're going to want to get the Cuei grip. If you have the pocketbook for it, right? It's expensive per foot. I can't blame you if that's not in your budget. But it's worked really well for me. I love it. I use it on my freeride board. I use it on my downhill board. And it's, proven itself over and over again to be extremely durable and extremely reusable for a person like myself that likes to mess around with his concaves, mess with his setups all the time, try out new things. It's great for my application. And if you're watching this channel, it likely is great for your application too. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Check out my Patreon if you haven't already. I have about 4.5 hours of content uploaded right now that you can go watch for just $3. Yeah, bunch of unreleased Owen Campbell content. I don't have, I've got a lot of like gear on there, little like previews and things like that, mini first impression reviews of precision trucks and products. You can see some in the back here that are not slated to be released on YouTube for like months and months and months. Yeah, Patreon's where all the unpolished stuff goes. If you want to go check that out, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe and like the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.